Remember that, barista? Sorry, I'm obsessed with your barista. I can't help it.
You are perfectly fine. I love her too. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I
And
try to
Kimber was
remember to
there
go in there and
too.
ask her how she's doing.
Yeah. I always ask her, "What are you wearing?" She's like, "Oh, you're a sly one, eh? You want to know what I'm wearing, Doodle?" And I'm like, "Oh wow, here we go." Because that's her tone in my head. In my head, it's like, "Hey," I don't know what she sounds like. Just like I speak for my dog, I don't know that he sounds like Carl from Sling Blade, but he does now. Hi, Mama Bear. Feeling better today?
Hello. Um, yes.
Good.
My husband had to wake me up at 12:30. He's like, "Are you still alive?"
Aw, you're so tired, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think between the cold and the loss of our cat that my body
Yeah.
and brain just said, "You're done for a while."
Yep, you're exhausted mentally, physically, all of it. Aw.
Yeah. So I still am stuffy and all that stuff, but I don't know. I feel better in
You
some
sound
ways.
better. You sound
Yeah.
better today.
It's mostly like my nose, it's like congested in my head and stuff, but my nose is like dry. If that
Aw.
makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was supposed to go to lunch with some of the people I used to work with and some of our customers, but I was like, I don't think I'm going to, because one, I don't want to risk catching something on top of what I've already got, and two, I know at least one, if not two, of the girls is immune compromised.
Oh, I'll catch it.
And so I don't want to risk, spreading, because if
Sure.
she has lupus as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, she'll catch it.
yeah, and if she got sick, it'd break my heart. I love her to death. So
Oh. Yeah, that's the bad part about lupus is you are susceptible to anything around you all the time.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Walt. I appreciate that. Yep, you passed in my arms.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Um, Echo had been taking care of him, and she took really good care of him too.
Oh.
And she came downstairs. She's like, "Mom, he's meowing like he's hurt." I tried to, adjust him. She's like, "Can you come check on him?"
Oh.
And I picked him up and was holding him, and he kind of did a thing with his arms and a big meow,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
was it. She's like,
Oh.
"What's going on, Mom?" I said, "He's dying." I said, "He may have just passed." And I moved the covers and looked, and I was like, "Yep, he just passed, sweetheart."
How did she do? She do okay? I mean, I know it's hard, but I mean,
Yeah, she did really well. I have been talking to her over the last month or two, because,
preparing.
yeah,
Oh.
preparing her for it.
Oh.
Because, I mean, she spent every waking moment he slept in her bed. Um, if
Oh my
because of
goodness.
his bowels and stuff, if he made a mess, she would give him the bed, and she would sleep
Oh.
on the floor instead of,
Oh my goodness, Mama,
wake.
that's so sweet.
Yeah,
Oh.
instead of waking me up and having me come in and help clean it up or anything, she would sleep on the floor and just let him rest and me rest, and yeah.
Oh. Well, she sounds
So
amazing.
she is.
No.
Yeah, she was upset, and of course, but um, she did pretty well with it.
I'm glad she did because you never know with kids how they can because their feelings are so strong
Yeah,
anyway, their hormones. So you just don't know how they're going to take something like that.
right. And then you add the autism and OCD and
Oh
everything on top of that,
yeah.
makes
Yeah.
it that much
Oh,
harder. So
I'm glad you guys are doing okay. Not that you're
yeah,
not over it. You never will be, but at least you guys are getting it to where it's a little bit more bearable.
yeah. My oldest made the comment. She's like, she said it's weird that I feel like I can breathe today. I said, "Honey, it's because you don't have the stress of worrying about if he's going to pass today."
Yes, and that's exhausting.
Yeah.
Without
she's
you
like,
even
really? I was like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I've had to make that decision multiple times. And I was at the point where I was debating that decision with him. And I knew by the look on his eyes. I told my husband on, let's see, what day did he pass? I'm so lost on my days. Today's Saturday. So is it Wednesday?
I think it was Thursday, wasn't it?
It might have been Thursday.
I'm not positive.
Yeah. Well, I told my husband, I think the day before, I said, I think he's got about 24, 48 hours. So I was right on. So
Doesn't
yeah.
make it any easier though, does it? I mean, it's just
No, it doesn't.
that waiting game is so hard. And then I
It
mean,
is.
it's terrible. It is. I was so lost without my little Chiweenie when I had her 17 years, and it was like I still at times call this dog Peanut because I forever had the name Peanut, you know? It
Yeah.
was
Yeah. I had a cat. I lost a couple. I don't even know how many. It seems like it's only been a couple years ago, but it might have been more than that. I think Lorelai was about 14. So yeah, it's probably been about a couple years that he passed of cancer as well. And I had him 17 years.
oh, it's hard because it's like
Yeah,
you're just
that
so they're family, you know? They
yeah,
are.
it destroyed me. That took
Oh,
me.
yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah, with my Peanut, I struggled really bad.
Yeah, I still to this day, even with Groucho at times, I would call him Little Man, which is what I called my CJ.
Yeah, I still call mine Peanut from time to time. Then I smile like, okay, I guess you see me. All
Right.
right, it starts, guys. I'm gonna pull us down off here, and I think they're beginning right now.
Okay, doke.
Everyone stand, please. You may be seated. Thank you. All right, gentlemen, you can continue.
Your Honor, that was the end of that video clip. We just wanted to double check.
Yes.
We can go ahead and submit that to the court reporter. It was exhibit number 184. Okay. Okay. Anything else that you did personally involving this investigation other than continuing to be a liaison between the different agencies involved?
That's it.
Okay. Please answer any questions the defense has for you.
Thank you, Judge. Well, she kind of stole one of my questions. This is the absolute only involvement you had in this case. I won't go back to that a little bit, other than I guess your administrative roles as a liaison.
That's correct.
And these two interviews that you initiated or done with Ms. Boswell, those both the same day?
Yes, sir.
What date was that?
February the 20th.
Now, did you Mirandize her?
No, sir.
Were you the first person to interview her on the 20th?
If there was more after me, I believe so.
So you believe you might have been, would that have been the first interview we watched?
I think so.
And that would have been before Detective Gillum or Lieutenant Williams?
I'm not for sure of the time.
I'm sorry. I think those were different dates.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I can't answer that.
that's okay. Do you recall anybody else interviewing Megan that day?
No, sir.
So it was just you and you alone.
I believe so.
And then you interviewed her a second time on the same day.
That's correct.
And how much space was in between those two interviews? How much time?
I'm sorry, I don't recall that.
Well, I'm not trying to trick you, but is it an hour, 2 hours, or just?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's okay. You interviewed her on the first one, and I imagine you stepped out of the office for some time. Would that be a fair statement?
I can't. Been 5 years. I'm sorry, I can't.
That's okay. You eventually come back and interview
That's
her.
correct. That's correct.
She never left
No,
and came back for a second interview.
not to my knowledge. No.
Be safe to assume she just sat there until the second interview occurred.
Correct.
Okay. Do you remember what time that was?
No, I sure don't.
What would have been your normal duty hours that day?
With an investigation like that, it could have been at any given time. I don't know. My normal work day would be like 0800 to 5 o'clock in the evening, but it could have been prior to that or even after.
Possibility these interviews could have occurred after 5 p.m.
Yes,
You just don't know.
correct.
Fair enough. Have just a second, Judge.
Yes.
Be fair to say, though, that your second interview would have essentially been a continuation of the first interview with attenuated by a brief amount of time.
That would be fair to say.
Okay. And you said you'd been a detective, actually the captain over the detectives. You were the captain of that little division, so to speak,
Yes,
both literally and figuratively in rank.
yes,
And I imagine you've conducted a lot of interviews over your years in law enforcement.
yes.
At the onset of this first interview, we hear Megan ask about her boyfriend, and you indicate that he's coming down to see her.
Yes,
And she represents she doesn't want that to happen.
correct.
Did that have any significance to you as an investigator?
No, not at that point. During the course of the investigation, I was doing my best to either get new information or to clarify other information. So when she said that, that's when I believe I stepped out to ask to have a phone call made by another detective for her.
And would that be to just prevent the boyfriend from coming down?
She was wanting to see her mother, if I remember correctly, wanting her mother to pick her up.
And not her boyfriend.
Correct.
And that never resonated with you of why would she not want that?
Objection to speculation.
Sustained.
Okay, Judge. Can I just say? Really what you were interviewing about on this day was essentially the same subject matter, a missing child, that Detective Raz and Lieutenant Gillum interviewed.
Yes,
her.
sir.
So that was the focus of all of these interviews.
Yes, sir.
And so whether you interviewed first and they interviewed later, they would all be a continual interview over a matter of time.
It was a continuing effort.
I'll take that. That's all the questions I have, Judge.
Thank you. Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Is he free to be released?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your testimony. If you're released from your subpoena, you're free to go. Call your next.
They recall Jeffrey Blanton.
Raise your right hand. State your name.
Jeff Blanton.
You solemnly swear affirm testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Let's see that.
So your name is Jeffrey Blanton.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And your last name spelled Blanton. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where are you currently employed?
I'm currently employed by East Tennessee State University.
Okay. And what is your title there?
I'm the Associate Vice President of Administration and Operations
Okay. How long have you been with ETSU?
since January of 2021.
Okay. And is that where you were employed in late 2019 and early 2020?
No, ma'am, it was not.
Okay. Where were you employed during that time?
By the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Okay. In what capacity?
At that time, I was the supervisory senior resident agent in charge of the Upper East Tennessee.
Okay. And how long did you work for the FBI?
Just shy of 25 years.
Okay. Were you always employed with Upper East Tennessee Division?
No, ma'am, I've traveled other
Okay.
places.
Okay. Were you a member of the state or Safe Streets Task Force?
Yes, ma'am. I actually started the Safe Streets Task Force in Johnson City in 2012. And during 2019, I supervised the Safe Streets Task
Okay.
Force.
Can you tell the jury what that is?
Yes, the Safe Streets Task Force is made up of federal, state, and local officers and agents. And the purpose of the task force is to combat violent crimes. The typical violent crime you think of in bank robbery, drugs, extortions. And we also got involved in crimes against children as it relates to the Lindbergh Law from 1932.
Okay. And were you employed in that capacity on that task force along with the FBI when you were asked to aid in the investigation of missing child Evelyn Boswell?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Okay. What were you tasked with doing?
Detective Strickler from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office notified me that there was a missing child in Sullivan County under the tender age, which by statute is 12 years old.
Okay.
That gives the FBI jurisdictional authority to assist local agencies in trying to find that missing child.
Okay.
So I actually didn't have any agents available to come talk with Detective Strickler. So myself and another task force officer came here to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and met with Detective Strickler in regards to missing juvenile.
Okay. So in order for it to make sure I'm clear, in order for the FBI to be able to have jurisdiction and to provide aid, it needs to be a child 12 years of age or younger.
By our policy, we use the Lindbergh Law, the tender age law of 12,
Okay.
it gives us jurisdiction to work those cases.
Okay.
However, we're not restricted by that if someone asks for help either.
Okay. So tender age being 12 or under 12?
Or younger, yes, ma'am,
Okay.
that's correct.
And at some point in the investigation, did you yourself speak with Megan Boswell, the defendant?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Was anyone else present when you spoke with Megan Boswell?
Yes, ma'am. Task Force Officer Todd Wilcox
Okay.
was also present during that interview.
Okay. And what agency was Todd Wilcox employed with?
Todd was assigned full-time to the FBI Safe Streets Task Force, but his home office was the Irwin Police Department.
Okay. And on February 19th, 2020, is that when the interview took place with Megan Boswell, with Todd Wilcox being present as well?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And where did that interview take place?
That interview occurred here at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. And where in the sheriff's office did it occur?
There was a room, I'm going to assume it was an interview room outside of the detective's offices.
Okay. Is that located in Sullivan County, Tennessee?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Was this interview video or audio recorded?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury why it was not?
Certainly. FBI policy does not allow us to audio or video record interviews outside of FBI space.
Okay.
If we are in FBI space, then certainly that's an option, but this interview was not recorded.
Okay. see. Do you know how Megan Boswell got to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office that day?
I don't have, she volunteered, she spoke with me, she said voluntarily, but I'm not sure exactly if someone dropped her off, if she
Okay.
walked there. I don't know if she got
Okay. So you sat down with an interview with her, and what did she tell you regarding her missing child, Evelyn Boswell?
She told me and Agent Wilcox that she had last seen Evelyn Boswell on December the 25th of 2019.
Okay. And where did she say she had last seen Evelyn?
She last saw Evelyn at the residence of Ethan Perry's grandparents. I believe their names were Carl and Sherry.
Okay. And did she state that she left Evelyn there, or did she state that she took Evelyn back after she went to that residence?
Yes, ma'am. That I'll back up a little bit. The 25th is the last time she said that she saw her.
Okay.
She did tell me that she dropped her off at the residence on the 24th of December, the day before.
Okay. Was she able to give you an exact address of where she said Ethan was staying?
No, ma'am, she could not.
Okay. Did she say when she went to Carl and Sherry Perry's residence whether or not anyone was with her?
When she dropped Evelyn off on the 24th of December,
The 24th. Okay.
yes, ma'am, she indicated that she did that alone, that no one was with her when she
Alone.
dropped her off.
Okay. Did she tell you what she did after she dropped Evelyn off that day?
Yes, ma'am. She informed me that she and her family then went with her boyfriend at the time, a fellow by the name of Hunter Woods.
Okay.
That Hunter and her family went to Margaritaville in Pigeon Forge, spent the night in Margaritaville, and then came back to the Sullivan County area on December the 25th.
Okay. Okay. Did she tell you if she went back to the Perry's residence after she dropped her off on December 24th?
Yes, ma'am, she did. She indicated that she went back on the 25th.
Okay. Did she say why she went back?
Yes, ma'am. Upon returning from Pigeon Forge, Margaritaville at Pigeon Forge, Miss Boswell indicated that she stopped by Tommy's house, I think Tommy Boswell Jr., if I
Okay.
remember correctly, and picked up some Christmas presents for Evelyn Boswell.
Okay.
On the 25th, she and her boyfriend, Mr. Woods, took the presents to the Perry's residence to drop them off for Evelyn.
Okay. And did she say whether or not they went into the house that day?
Miss Boswell indicated that Mr. Woods did not go with her up to the residence, that he dropped her off at the end of the driveway. She walked to the residence, and that she did not go into the house that day.
Okay. So she indicated that Hunter Wood stayed at the end of the driveway.
That's correct.
So did she indicate that they didn't even pull up to the top of the driveway to the house?
She indicated they did not pull up to the top of the driveway.
Why did she say that she wouldn't pull up to the top of the driveway?
She had some concern that Mr. Perry and Mr. Woods may get in some sort of argument or altercation. Therefore, Mr. Woods stayed at the bottom of the driveway, and Miss Boswell went up to the residence alone.
Okay. Did she indicate that she spoke with Ethan that day?
She did, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did she indicate whether or not she saw Evelyn that day?
She indicated that she did see Evelyn on the 25th, but according to memory, she saw her on the 25th, but less than an hour.
Less than an hour. Okay. Did she indicate whether she saw anyone else at the residence that day?
No, ma'am, she did not.
Okay. And did she indicate that she went back to the residence at any time after that?
I don't have a recollection that she went back. I know she tried to make contact, she said, with her daughter Evelyn later, but I don't recall she going back. She went back to the residence.
Okay, so it's your belief that the last date was December 25th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To your knowledge, did she tell you whether or not she'd ever left Evelyn with Ethan Perry prior to this time?
I don't recall that she indicated she had ever left her daughter with Ethan Perry prior to this.
Did she talk at all about the fact that Ethan was in the Army?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
Okay. What did she say about that?
She told me that Ethan was in the Army, that he was home on break, and that she was going to let her daughter Evelyn stay with Ethan, who she indicated was his biological father, for the holiday.
Okay.
And that he also indicated that his contract was up or was soon to be up with the Army.
Okay. Okay, so after that date, December 25th, did the defendant indicate that she continued to go over to Ethan's house to try to see Evelyn?
No, ma'am, she did not.
Okay. So did she tell you she did not try to go back over?
Yes, ma'am. I recall having a conversation, and she said that she called, I think on New Year's Eve,
Okay.
but that she did not see Evelyn. There was some discussion she indicated between her at some point. I don't know if it was the 24th or 25th. I don't recall specifically. Maybe both days. She said they did get into an argument that Mr. Perry said that he was going to try to get custody.
Okay. So she's telling you that Ethan had threatened her.
With attempting to get custody of Evelyn, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Did she show you any proof of any custody paperwork at any time?
She did not. I recall asking her who the biological father was on the birth certificate, and she indicated that it was not Mr. Perry. But I don't have any recollection of who that person was,
Okay.
if listed as.
So at some point she told you Ethan Perry was not the father.
Not listed on the birth certificate.
Not listed on the birth certificate. Okay, I apologize. Okay. So did Megan ever say why she hadn't contacted law enforcement when she could not get in touch with Ethan Perry?
Yes, ma'am, she did. I asked that question, and she said that because Mr. Perry had made threats that he would attempt to gain custody of the child,
Okay.
that she was fearful if she went to law enforcement that would further anger him and bolster his case about getting custody of the child.
Okay. Okay, so Megan has told you that she's never left Evelyn to stay with Ethan before this date. Did she ever explain to you why she felt like it was okay to leave Evelyn with essentially a stranger to Evelyn?
She indicated that she was, I recall her using the words worn out,
Okay.
that Evelyn was attached to her at the hip and
Okay.
she needed a break, that she had taken care of Evelyn for a year and she felt like it was time for Mr. Perry to step up,
Okay.
and that she had also been taking care of her father or stepfather's children, other children in the home,
Okay.
and she was tired.
Did she indicate whether or not she could handle Evelyn herself?
She indicated she was just getting too much to handle. Yes, ma'am.
Did you explain to Megan Boswell that the repercussions of lying to an FBI agent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did she indicate that she understood?
Yes, ma'am, she did verbally.
Okay. Did she ever tell you she wanted to correct any of the information that she had given you?
No, ma'am, I went through all of the information in the notes that were taken and read them back to Miss Boswell, and she indicated she had nothing to correct.
Okay. So she continued to say that everything that she told you about Ethan was true.
That's correct. Yes, ma'am, she
Okay.
did.
During this interview, can you describe Megan Boswell's demeanor?
Yes, ma'am. Megan Boswell was very matter of fact, completely unemotional. It seemed to be unattached to the gravity of trying to locate a 1-year-old child at the time. She did show some emotion, began to tear up a little when I told her that she could be charged with a felony pursuant to lying to an agent if what she was saying was not true.
Okay, so after that date, as the investigation continued, Were you able to confirm whether the story she was telling you on that day was true or not?
At a later date, yes, ma'am. I was able to confirm that she had not been truthful with me during that initial interview.
Okay. Please answer any questions the defense has for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop.
Good afternoon, Mr. Blunt. My name is Gene Scott. How are you?
Great, sir. Hope you are.
Thank you. What time of day was it when you arrived at the sheriff's department to conduct this interview?
It would have been in the afternoon. I can't give you an exact time, but I recall Detective Strickland calling me. I was actually sitting at my desk, so it was in the afternoon, if I recall correctly.
And as I understand it, it was at your behest that the interview was not recorded in that room. You had the cameras turned off because of FBI policy.
Yes, sir. The FBI, we take copious notes and document thoroughly and go back over with the person we're interviewing to make sure the person is true and accurate in what we have documented. And our policy at the time, I know I've been retired for a few years, but our policy at the time was not to record those interviews.
Okay.
Not unless they occurred in FBI space.
Prior to conducting this interview, had you watched any other interviews of Megan Boswell with law enforcement?
No, sir, I had not personally watched any.
Okay. Had you been made aware of other interviews with her?
It seems like Detective Strickler may have spoken with her prior to me speaking with her, but I don't know the gist of those interviews.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Is he free to go?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir, for your testimony.
Yes, sir.
You're released from your subpoena. Next.
State would call David Gratz.
Raise your right hand, state your name.
David Gratz.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Please tell the jury your name and please spell your last name for them, please.
My name is David Gratz. It's spelled Gratz.
Where are you currently employed?
I'm an attorney in the private practice of law.
Okay. And prior to that, where were you employed?
By the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation.
Okay. When did you first start with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation?
In August of 2019.
Okay. And what was your title during that time?
I was a special agent criminal investigator.
Okay. Can you give the jury a brief summation of what that job entails?
Yes, I was assigned to the criminal investigation division. So it's what a larger department might call like a major crimes unit. So we investigated things like death investigations, missing persons, adults and children, officer-involved shootings, and public corruption.
If you can also just give the jury a brief summation of your education up until the point of starting your first job.
So I graduated from East Tennessee State University with a bachelor's degree in 2011. I continued on and went to law school at Lincoln Memorial University School of Law and graduated with a law degree in 2014. And I was Do you want me to go into my first employment?
Please.
My first position was with the District Attorney General's office in the 3rd Judicial District, primarily assigned in Morristown.
Okay. And then you went to the TBI thereafter. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And were you employed with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation in February of 2020?
Yes, I was.
And were you called to assist in the investigation of missing child Evelyn Boswell?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Which agency requested the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's help?
Initially, it was called in by the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office for us to assist in an investigation of a missing child. And later, we were formally requested in writing to assist by the District Attorney General based office.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm handing you a document. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
This is a formal request for investigation, commonly issued by district attorney generals throughout the state to request the TBI to investigate facts and circumstances of a potential crime.
Okay. And is that how the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation essentially is officially called in to investigations?
In a lot of what CID does, yes, we are requested by the district attorney general.
Okay. And on this specific request, what were you being asked to do?
It's essentially just to gather the facts and circumstances of the whereabouts of a missing child.
Okay.
That was Evelyn Boswell.
Okay. Were you given any background information to help you start your investigation?
And like most cases, you receive very little background information. Initially, I was just essentially told that she was missing, that her mother had been located, and law enforcement had talked to her at that point. And I think that's about all I was told initially.
Okay. And we can pass that back. We're not going to put that into evidence. I just wanted you to be able to see that document.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will you approach her?
This is.
to pass you a document.
Thank you.
And I'm going to ask if you recognize that document.
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
This is essentially a standard form made by TBI in Nashville of an Amber Alert poster. And it was issued specifically for the victim here, Evelyn Boswell.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the Amber Alert that was prepared and in regards to missing child Evelyn Boswell?
Yes, it is.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 185.
Would be 185.
Thank you.
Defense. Okay. And permission to publish, Your Honor. Okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions about this. You said this is the Amber Alert that was sent out in regard to missing child Evelyn Boswell. Is that right?
That is correct.
Do you recall when the Amber Alert was issued?
Yes, it was in the evening of February the 19th,
Okay.
2020.
Okay. February 19th. Okay. And where does that go? Does that go just to the state of Tennessee, or how was the determination made on how far that would go?
That's a question that I don't specifically know the answer to.
Okay.
I know they are issued statewide.
Okay.
I know depending on the location, it can travel over into different states at times.
Okay. And the information on the bottom of this, it's pretty small print.
I can see it.
Okay, you can see it, okay?
I can.
Is the information listed here, and for where had the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation taken these details that are listed on the Amber Alert?
I'm sorry, I don't think I understand your question.
Where did you get the information that Evelyn was last seen wearing a pink tracksuit?
That information was provided to us by the defendant.
Okay. Where did you get information about a BMW?
Also from the defendant.
Okay. All right. Okay. So after the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was assigned, can you give a brief description of how you, let me back up one step. What was your role in this investigation with the TBI?
I was assigned as the TBI case agent.
Okay, so that means essentially the lead case agent over the case for the TBI.
For TBI, yes.
Okay, so after you were assigned this investigation, can you give us a brief description of how you conducted your investigation?
So initially, you just arrive on scene and you try to get as much information as you can. You talk to the people who have already been there, find out what they have done. You talk with the local agency or agencies that are already involved, and you really just try to understand what's going on in the investigation and what has been done so far.
Okay, and were you working with other agencies at this point?
Yes.
Okay, which other agencies around February 18th, February 19th?
When I first arrived, it was TBI was on scene at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office with Sullivan County, and I believe there were members of the Federal Bureau of Investigation on scene, FBI.
Okay, and how do you meet? How did all these agencies coming together? How do they decide how to execute a plan in an investigation like this?
In the initial phases, you really do the best you can, but it oftentimes goes to either the case agent or the highest in chain of command that is on scene, and they get together and decide which agency will play a role in what, and you just divvy up tasks.
Okay. as part of what you did you go to the trailer that Megan Boswell lived in with Evelyn prior to Evelyn going missing?
Yes, I did.
And do you remember when you went to that trailer?
That would have been the evening of the 19th
Okay.
of 2020, February 19th.
So the same day the Amber Alert went out.
That is correct.
Okay. Anyone go with you to that trailer?
Yes, investigator Tracy Haraz with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Why did you go there?
We were going initially to meet a young man named Austin Feller.
Okay. And did the defendant still live at that trailer?
No, she no longer lived there.
Okay. Was anyone living in that trailer at the time?
Yes, there were current tenants who had moved in.
Okay. If I could please see exhibits number 49 and 50. I'm going to show you two documents that have already been introduced into evidence. Is this the trailer that you were describing as being the defendant's trailer?
Yes,
Okay. Just another view. Is that an accurate view of that trailer?
it is.
Okay. And do you know the street address for that trailer?
I believe it's at 976 Sugar Hollow Road.
Okay. Is that located in Sullivan County, Tennessee?
It is.
Okay. Were you able to determine who actually owned the trailer?
Yes, I believe it belonged to the defendant's family, either her dad or her brother, some type of association owned it.
Okay. Were you able to determine if the defendant had left any property behind when she moved out?
Yes, we learned that there was still some property at the site.
And were you given consent to search that site and or anything attached to that property?
Yes, we were given consent to search a small outbuilding that was right there next to that trailer.
Okay. And did you also conduct a search outside the trailer?
I did, yes.
What were you looking for?
Any signs of disturbed dirt, anything that would lead us to believe that the victim may still be there, or anything that would lead us to her current whereabouts.
Okay. Did you find Evelyn?
No, we did not.
Did you find anything else that was significant to the investigation regarding anything associated with Evelyn?
But we did inside of the shed that was next to the trailer.
Okay. So what did you find in the shed?
A stroller that had been left behind.
Okay. I'm going to show you two photographs. Do you still have the photographs?
All right, objection's overruled.
Yes, I
Evelyn.
do.
You still have the photographs? Okay.
I do.
Okay. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes.
What is it?
These are two photographs of the stroller we found that evening.
Okay. And were you able to determine whose property that was?
Yes, this belonged to the defendant.
Okay. So when you say belonged to the defendant, you found it where again?
In the shed that's essentially not attached, but very close to the trailer where the defendant was living.
Okay. So it did not buy, you said there were new tenants in that trailer.
That is correct.
Okay. Did they indicate that was their stroller?
No, they.
Objection sustained.
Did you locate anything else of relevance to this investigation inside the shed?
Not that I can recall.
At this time, well, let me ask this. The photographs, are they fair and accurate representation of how the stroller appeared on that date?
Yes.
Okay. We'd ask those be made, if possible, collective exhibit number 186.
The collective 186 of the defendant's objection.
Permission to publish. Is this the stroller that was inside the shed that day?
Yes, it is.
Is this just a side view of that same stroller?
Correct.
Did you also take the stroller itself into evidence?
Yes, we did.
Okay. If, Your Honor, may he step down for a second?
Yes. On the-
If you could step down to where the microphone is. And I'm going to ask if you can identify this piece, if you can recognize what that is.
Yes, I recognize that.
Okay, and what is it?
It's the stroller we found at the defendant's former trailer.
Okay. We'd ask that be made exhibit number 187.
Be full exhibit 187, over objection.
And Your Honor, would you like for us to fold that up? They're not always the easiest. Ooh, good job. Do you need help? Just roll it up. See if we can roll it under the table. That'll work. There you go. Thank you. So I'm assuming, was law enforcement working long hours during these first few days?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you attempt to interview the defendant about Evelyn?
Yes, later that night.
Okay. And what would the date have been for that?
When we attempted the interview, it was on February 19th of 2020.
Okay. And about what time did that interview start?
Shortly before midnight and continued on into the early morning hours of February 20th
Okay. Where did it take place?
at the sheriff's office here in Blumpville.
Okay. Was this interview audio or video recorded?
I believe that interview was audio only recorded.
Okay. And is that office that you interviewed located in Sullivan County, Tennessee?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Prior to talking with the defendant, did you Mirandize her?
I did.
Did she agree to speak with you?
She did.
During this interview, did she tell you the last time that she saw Evelyn?
Yes, she did.
Okay. When did she say she last saw Evelyn?
The day after Christmas on the 26th of December, 2019.
Okay. Where did she say she saw Evelyn?
At Ethan Perry's grandparents' house.
Who did she say Ethan was in relation to Evelyn?
She had told us, or the defendant being she, had told us that Ethan Perry was Evelyn's father.
Did you talk with her about where Ethan was living?
I did. Yes.
Okay, what did you tell her?
Told her that, we had learned that Ethan was full-time in the military and was currently living on a base in Louisiana, I believe, and was living in a barracks on a base.
Had law enforcement already talked to Ethan at this point?
Yes, they had the Army's branch of CID.
Okay. And did you tell the defendant that?
I did.
What did you tell her about Ethan and Evelyn?
I essentially just told her that law enforcement had cleared that idea that Ethan had Evelyn inside of a barracks. And
okay. Did Megan stay with that story about Ethan?
At that time, she maintained that all she knew was that Ethan had Evelyn.
Okay. And where did she say that she had been living?
As of recently, she told us, the defendant told us she had been living with her boyfriend, Hunter.
Okay. Did you ask her if Hunter could have hurt Evelyn?
I did. I asked that specifically.
What did she say?
The defendant said that Hunter would not do that.
Did you ask her if Hunter had been around Evelyn at all?
I did, yes.
And what did she say?
Essentially, no. At that point, she said Hunter had never been around Evelyn.
Okay. Did she say if Hunter had ever babysat Evelyn?
We were told by the defendant that Hunter never babysat Evelyn.
Did she say if Hunter had ever held Evelyn?
The defendant told us that Hunter had never held Evelyn.
Okay. Did you ask her if Evelyn had ever stayed at Hunter's house over on Sandy Point?
Yes, I asked her about that, and the defendant told me that no, Evelyn had never stayed over at Hunter's residence.
Okay. Prior to when she said she left Evelyn with Ethan, did she indicate whether she'd ever left Evelyn with Ethan in the past?
She told us that Ethan had never kept Evelyn alone prior to that day.
Okay. Did she tell you whether or not Evelyn had met Ethan before?
They had been introduced, I believe, briefly prior to that day on a trip to Texas.
Okay. Did the defendant tell you how many times she'd seen Evelyn after leaving her with Ethan in December?
I believe that we had talked about that, yes.
Okay. Do you recall how many times she said she'd seen Evelyn?
I don't think she had seen Evelyn at all after that December 26th date.
Sorry to object. I'll not make the objection. We approach the bench.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll have you go with the officer. Everyone stand, please. You may be seated. Thank you.
We'll take about a 15-minute break. Mr. Gatz, please do not discuss your testimony with any other witness during the break.
What do you guys think so far? Besides all these dang breaks every hour.
I kind of got sidetracked, so I wasn't listening real well. Sorry.
I didn't know that they found a stroller on the
Yep.
property of the trailer. That's interesting.
Right. So why wouldn't you take that with her? I mean, why wouldn't she if she dropped her baby off with whoever, why wouldn't the stroller be with the baby? You know?
Right.
Right.
I mean, I got some big old hips, but I ain't got no carrying the baby everywhere hips. Some strollers are a
Right.
lifesaver.
I hear you.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm telling you, with my grandson, he was so chubby as a baby. I always said I was going to put wheels on his butt, so I just pull him around.
You know, it wasn't until after I had the twins that I learned about these baby wrap things where you could like wrap the baby to you and carry him. I was like, dude, that would have been a lifesaver.
No,
I could have had one twin in the front, one twin in the back, and then had Lorelai. That'd have been good. But no, I didn't find out about that till later.
Yeah, same here. They didn't have that when my boys were little. My goodness. Right, Wisdom says, right, a baby in the barracks. So I guess while he had his firearm on one side, he had Evelyn on the other. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Oh, okay. Goodness.
Right. Strapped her in his backpack and went and done, boot camp. What the hell?
Yeah, and then he had a firearm too, so they were all together. It's team effort here. Goodness. Yeah, Barb, they're having a break every hour apparently. Bunch of pee-peers, I think.
Woo, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That should be a question if you're going to participate in court.
Right. Can you hold your
How
pee?
is your bladder? Do you have good bladder control? Should we get the kit?
Diapers are available. Diapers are available
Right?
in the bathroom. Help yourself. That'd be me as a judge. Get your diaper on. We're not recessing. We'll just
Hell yeah. It'd be like Craig on a road trip. I gotta pee. Oh, you can wait 17 more exits.
Right. You don't really have to pee, right? Oh yeah, if we drank every time she told a lie, wow, we wouldn't make it through this. I'd be like taking a nap.
Ooh, y'all wouldn't want me up here if we drank every time she lied. Y'all get a whole different mom.
Woohoo! Let's get a hold of her. Get her pitchforks. Let's go.
Craig, you know that's how you are over here talking about ha 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 in the chat. He knows that's how he is. Baby, I gotta pee. Okay, well we gotta get gas in another 34 minutes. Oh, look, I missed the exit. There's another exit 30 miles away. You'll be all right.
Get you a shiwi. That'll show him.
I used to have one of those. I took it fishing with me. I love that damn thing.
I take one when I go hunting, and I hate it. It's not right. You don't stand up and pee as a female. It feels weird. It doesn't work well. I mean, it does.
I'll be standing off the side of the boat.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Right, Craig, just pee in a bottle. Yeah,
I was
because
just
you guys got it the easy way.
Yeah, right.
Worried about what if the deer come about? Well, I'm using my shiwi. I mean, what a mess I would make. Hot over.
Did we lose Dago?
He hasn't.
Oh, he's back. Women take over. No, never mind. Right, Peggy.
I don't think he's at his desk.
Mom.
I don't think he's at his desk right now, so I kind of just put him back up there. But if he unmutes, I'll put him back up.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I haven't really heard from him. Just that it's Saturday, so he may have the grandkids. I'm not sure.
Oh, I didn't think about that. It's way easier for the guy to just direct stream than a woman. Yeah. Rub it in.
I don't know. You hold it long enough, us women can get some pressure. Look out. Get that sheet.
Tell you what. I never got to write my name in the snow. I feel like it was stolen from me.
Oh, you need a longer shiwi.
Tomorrow
Add a pool noodle to the end of it, Mom. Let her go.
Dude, do you know how many creative things you can do with a pool noodle?
Yeah. You can put it around a dog's collar instead of having to use a comb so they can't bite at their butt or if they get surgery or whatever. Yeah, their pool noodles are awesome. They keep your pipes from freezing if you get a heat tape and put the pool noodle over it.
Dude, not only that, do you know you can run a trot line with a pool noodle?
Heck yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude. Yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
can't wait till summer.
Life hack 101 from mom here. Your redneck life hack of the day. You can also take a pool noodle and put like chicken wire, build you like a little chicken wire fence, take pool noodles, wrap them around the edges of it with like one buys, put your cooler in there, and float your cooler with you.
Oh, well, Lord, you're just a
Mhm.
life of the party today.
Man, I'm telling you what, pool noodles, and you get them for $1 and 25 cents there at the Dollar Tree.
They're at the Dollar Tree.
See, Kimber knows. Kimber knows about floating a cooler with some pool noodles and some chicken wire.
Oh boy.
We get all redneck fancy around here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty fancy here too. My water's not freezing again. I'm going down to the Dollar Tree. Give me a whole bunch of pool noodles.
Well, I bet the guy that invented or the gal that invented pool noodles never thought that we was gonna. Dago said he fixed it. Yo ho.
What's he talking about? What was broke?
I
Dago, what'd
don't
you
know.
break this time? There he
You were,
is.
it was echoing like crazy. Sorry.
Oh,
I
we
thought
didn't
that's
hear
why
a
you
thing.
knocked me back down.
No, 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 I didn't think you were here. I thought you were away from your desk.
Earlier
I've
I
been.
was. I'm trying to help them get this thing together, so my apologies. But
Oh
I
no,
came
you're
back.
fine. I just didn't want people to think you were ignoring them. So I kind of put you down there. I was like, well, he's probably not at his desk.
Is that it all done for the day?
Hell no. We just now.
Oh,
We just on a break.
thank you, Arctic. Um, hello everybody. Mama Bear.
What's up?
How was
Hey,
everybody?
look. Sorry.
You're okay.
I want to show y'all my T-shirt. Look here. I'm so glad it ain't cold no more. Look, it says Grandma, the myth. Wait a minute. The woman, the myth, the legend. But look, it's a skull and crossbones, and instead of bones, it's got mashed tater smashers.
I just was gonna ask. That's hilarious. My wife would love
I
that.
love that.
Awesomeness. How are you feeling?
It's one of them flea market finds from the Kentucky flea market.
Oh, Kentucky's so beautiful. That Spanish moss is, oh, just, I love it.
Girl, we got so much Spanish moss down here. It's everywhere. I
Not
will put you
Missouri.
some in a bucket and bleach it for you and send it to you.
Yeah. I want none of them bed bug booty stuff that goes with it. You said yesterday. Mm-mm.
That's why you bleach it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy though. I had no idea that's where that came from.
Hmm.
Was
Yep,
the
that's where
Spanish
they
moss.
came from. Because in the olden days, before mattresses, they would just, the woman would, or man, not trying to insult nobody, would
Wow.
make, they
Wow.
would sew the material and then they would get the Spanish moss out of the trees and stuff the mattress with the Spanish moss.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Look at him.
Moss, senor. You'd like my moss, yes.
He said, I picked that out for you. I told everybody you picked it out at the Kentucky flea market.
What's up, Craig?
They go and his trying to have that country accent cracks me up. What's up, Craig?
That wasn't being country. I just was being weird.
Oh, okay. Well, I forgive you then.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. You don't shit about me.
How's Craig feeling today?
Well, is he still in chat? Yeah, I guess so. How you feeling today? He's had a toothache.
Oh shit.
Anybody got any toothache remedies?
Ori gel.
Ooh, that
Cloves.
stuff's
vanilla,
horrible.
orange, or what is it? Real pure orange extract. That works. It numbs the shit
Little
out your
bit of
face.
cloves, real
Clove, yeah.
strong cloves, and it's pink, but I'm telling you, it works.
A brick.
A brick.
Yeah, if you
Hammer.
smack yourself, if you hit him in the face with a brick real quick, it'll go away. He won't feel anything but the brick.
Wow, Dale. I mean, have
What's
a
up,
tooth
Miss
out on that.
Barbara? Hello. Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, we already tried. It's got too much sugar in it.
Mm. There was
Cross.
something.
You can find it at a pharmacy. It's cloves, but it's the strongest, and it really works. $8 at the pharmacy, and Walmart. It's a little brown. I swear, like putting fire in the toothache in the whole tooth, but it works hours.
Damn.
It's amazing.
Hi, Dago.
Hey.
Hi. Clove oil. Yeah, it would work. That's what's in that red crust. Clove oil.
See, Drifty said Jim Beam. Don't nobody want no Kentucky Rock Gut, lady. Clove oil, baby. Take note of that. We'll go get you some from the pharmacy.
It's good stuff. But it'll numb no time.
What are we trying to numb?
Toothache.
Toothache.
Ooh, I hate toothaches.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Which tooth is it?
Oh, Kimberly.
This side.
You could yank it out.
Oh.
Be done with it.
I don't know if he'd let me. Would you let me yank it out?
I've done that before.
Oh my lord.
Hey,
It
some
ain't too
Jack
bad.
Daniels, a terry cloth, and a set of wrenches.
That's
Oh,
it.
my
Listen, Craig,
pulled one.
run, buddy. Get away from that woman.
Whoa.
I pulled one before with a pair of needle nose.
I grew up in the days where Grandpa would wrap the military thread that he had back in the war around your tooth
Yep.
and tie the other end of the front door and
Yep.
slam the front door shut.
100%.
Oh.
My grandmother did that.
No, thank you.
The problem is when with our adult teeth, they have such deep roots. It's very hard to get them out. You got to wiggle and pull and.
Ah, that's enough of that. You're making. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
We
shivering.
changed
Oh,
subject.
yeah, I can't do that. Oh, it's like yanking toenails. Oh God, no.
Few
Oh.
shots of Jack Daniels and a big yank. It depends on how bad off it is too.
I think it's fair to say that Dago should never try to be a dentist. Wow.
Right?
Give me them pliers over there. Give me them needle nose. No.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
It's a tooth, Dago, not a catfish. It's all good. Just clove oil, Craig. Clove oil.
I mean, yeah, you can do that first, of course.
Mm.
Try that first. If it don't work, then just yank the damn thing
Or not.
or wiggle it around. It might fall apart depending on how bad off it is.
Oh, God, no. Mm.
It's just some teepies.
Yeah.
I need those to eat my steaks.
But you got other ones. You don't need that one. How are you feeling today?
Who, me?
Yeah, you sound less snotty.
Well, gosh, Dago.
Yeah, less naughty. My husband had to wake me up at 12:30 to make sure I was still alive. So, yeah. He's like, it's 12:30. You want to get up? I was like, no, it's not. He's like, yes, it is. I was like, oh my gosh.
How much Sudafed have you been taking?
Man. So it's I'm still snotty, but it's not running everywhere. But I think I'm on the better side now. So
All right, guys, they're coming back. I'm gonna drop this all down.
whoa, that was a quick break. Oh, where'd my
thought.
Okay. Did you ask why she hadn't contacted law enforcement?
We did.
What'd she say?
I think she just said she didn't really have a good.
Sustained.
Okay, so I'm going to ask when I ask you a question. If you don't know the answer, you don't have to tell me.
Sure.
We try not to speculate with words like "I think" or things like that. Okay, so I may back up just a few questions and ask you those questions again. Okay. Did Megan say she tried to get in touch with Ethan after the last time she had seen Evelyn?
I know she said that, yes.
Okay. Did she say she ever got worried about Evelyn and or her safety?
She said she had not.
Okay. Did you ask her why she hadn't contacted law enforcement?
We did. We did ask her that.
And what was her response?
Specifically, I don't recall what she said.
Okay. What was her demeanor during this interview?
I would describe it as just very nonchalant.
Okay. And on this same day, do you recall being present when she was interviewed again?
Yes.
Okay. And was anyone else present during that interview?
Yes.
And who was present?
At the time, it was Sergeant Matt Price.
Okay. Was the interview audio and video recorded?
It was.
And where did it take place?
It was also at the sheriff's office.
Okay. And is that in Sullivan County, Tennessee?
It is.
How much time had passed from the interview we just talked about to this interview that we're getting ready to talk about?
Something like 8 hours. The interview we initially discussed ended at around 3 a.m. The interview at the next day was around midday, noon.
Okay. So you said the first one ended around 3 a.m. Is that right?
That is correct.
And what time do you believe the second one began?
It was around noon the following day, the 20th.
Okay. Without going into the details of that interview, we're going to go ahead and jump ahead to the following day, February 21st. Was the defendant interviewed again on February 21st?
She was.
Was anyone else present for that interview?
Matt Price,
Okay.
sheriff's office.
Okay. And was that interview also audio, video recorded?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Prior to that interview, had the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation collected some of Megan Boswell's property from the residents of Hunter Wood?
Yes, a couple of our agents had collected some of her property.
Okay. And did Megan Boswell give you consent to search and collect those items?
She did.
Okay. Okay, just a second. pass you some items from evidence. Would you prefer, I'll just send that,
Scissors over there. There's a pair of scissors.
if you want.
Thank you.
If you could, just, there should be some gloves up there. Do you see gloves up on the table?
I do. I'm putting them on now.
Okay. Oh, yeah, two of them. You have that one opened.
No, I was sort of waiting on you to
It's
ask
okay.
a question.
If you could go ahead and open that item. Okay, can you tell me what that is?
This is a small Polaroid type picture that the defendant described was taken at I believe that one was the Blowing Rock trip in North Carolina.
Okay. And to your knowledge, is there a date at all on that? There may not be, I don't know.
This photograph does not have a date on it.
Okay. And where did you obtain that photo? Was that from, where was that photograph obtained from?
It was from a box of belongings belonged to the defendant.
Okay. We'd ask that be made exhibit number 188.
You want it back in the envelope?
May we publish, Your Honor? Permission to publish? Okay. And how did you know what this was a photograph of?
At the time during the interview, myself and Sergeant Price were sitting there with the defendant, pulling these items out, asking her to describe these items to us.
Okay. And she described that as being from Blowing Rock.
That's correct.
Okay. Oh, actually, I want to see.
Could I get that exact knife?
Again, I'm gonna ask to open it and see if you can identify it.
All right.
Okay. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
These are a couple of the brochures that have been described as coming from the trip that they had taken over to North Carolina, they being the defendant and her boyfriend, Hunter.
Okay. So how many documents do you have in front of you?
3.
Okay. And what are they individually?
One is titled The Official Visitor's Map and Guide to Blowing Rock, North Carolina.
Okay.
Another one is Mystery Hill, which has a map of North Carolina. North Carolina's natural gravitational anomaly.
Okay.
Another one is North Carolina's oldest tourist attraction, the Blowing Rock.
Okay. If you could slide those back in, I'm going to show them to the defense really quickly. Your Honor, we'd offer this as exhibit number 189, please.
Any objection? No, sir. It's collected exhibit 189.
And where did you find those brochures?
They were with the defendant's belongings.
And where were, when you say the defendant's belongings, where were those belongings located?
Inside the residence of Hunter Wood.
Okay. I see the next.
Okay.
Okay. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
These are photographs of the defendant and Hunter Wood.
Okay. And is that also something that you collected from her belongings?
Yes.
Okay. Is it any, does it appear, well, if I could just pass those back first and let Mr. Scott take a look at those. May we approach?
All right, sustained in part, overruled in part,
And we'd ask these be made
collective 190.
190. Permission to publish.
Go ahead.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of one of the photos that you took from the defendant's property?
Yes, it is.
Were these located within anything?
They were inside of a box that the defendant identified as hers.
Okay. Same thing with that one?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
This is a card titled Thinking of You with Love.
Okay. And does it have any names on it?
Yes, the names on it are Maggie and Hunter.
Okay. And can you tell the jury where that was collected?
It was with the defendant's belongings.
Okay. You could pass that back, please.
We resolved it.
We resolved it.
Resolved it.
You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
These are photographs of the victim, Evelyn, 2 photographs of Evelyn, 1 photograph of Evelyn with the defendant,
Okay. And where were those found?
with the defendant's belongings.
Okay. If you could pass those back, slide them back in the envelope and pass them back.
Sustained.
You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is a receipt from the Olive Garden on Northeastman Road in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Okay. Was that also taken from the defendant's property?
It was.
Okay. We'd ask that be offered as exhibit number 191. If I could have it passed back to the witness briefly. Forgot to ask you, what is the date on that receipt?
It's January the 11th, 2020.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask if I could please have, you saw that exhibit with you? You can pass that back down to the clerk. And then ask if exhibit number 29 or 21 can please be passed to the witness. No, sorry, not 21. I'm wrong. Hold on. It would be number 91. Sorry. I'm going to ask if you could take a look at that. And see if you recognize that.
Yes, I recognize this.
What is it?
This is a shirt that belonged to the victim, Evelyn Boswell.
Okay, where was that found?
It was inside what the defendant referenced as a baby box.
Okay. And where was that baby box located?
It was with the defendant's belongings.
At where?
Hunter's residence.
Hunter's residence, okay. Your Honor, we had previously marked that exhibit as number 91 for ID only. We'd ask that be made a full exhibit at this time.
No check.
Agent Gratz, I'm going to ask for you. Well, let me ask the court. May I publish it, Your Honor? Agent Gratz, I'm going to ask for you to take it out of the package and show it to the jury, please.
Do you just want me to hold it up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stand up so everyone can see it. Thank you. Okay, thanks. No. I'm going to ask if exhibit 92 could please be passed to the witness. same thing. I'm going to ask if you could open that exhibit and see if you can identify it. Don't show it to the jury yet.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yes,
Okay. What is it?
this is a child's blanket.
Okay. And does it have any special features on it that are identifiable? What type of blanket is it?
It's a shark blanket, baby
Okay.
shark.
And where was that located?
It was with the defendant's belongings.
Okay. At Hunter's Woods residence?
Yes,
Okay. And was that also in that box that you're referencing?
yes,
Okay. Your Honor, that had been previously marked as ID only. We would ask that it be made into a full exhibit.
Exhibit 92. Now you
Okay. May we publish it, Your Honor?
you want me to stand up again?
So long as the court is okay with that. Okay, thank you. So before we went through all of those, we were talking about that interview from February 21st with Sergeant, now Lieutenant Price. Was that interview audio and video recorded?
Yes, it was
Where did it take place?
at the sheriff's office.
And is that in Sullivan County, Tennessee?
Yes, it is.
During this interview, you discussed a second ago the term memory box. At some point, did you have an interview with the defendant regarding this memory box?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you tell the jury a little bit about, just briefly, what you did with the defendant?
During that interview, we had what the defendant referred to as the memory box, and we pulled items out of it sort of one by one and had the defendant identify what each item was and the significance of each item,
Okay.
if any.
And what was your purpose in doing that?
You know, at that point, we were just following whatever leads were coming in. We had received that property, and we were trying to identify what it was, determine how it was relevant, and also establish a timeline for the last known whereabouts of Evelyn Boswell.
And did the defendant freely and voluntarily go through that box with you?
Yes.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. Your Honor, may we approach?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll go with the altar.
One stand, please. May be seated. Thank you.
All right, we'll be in recess. 10 or 15 minutes. You want to take whatever.
Well, here we are again. Break time again.
Good Lord.
Every hour on the hour. 10 to 15 minute breaks. That wouldn't be a bad job, though, you know?
Right.
Think about it. It's like, wow.
Go pee 1,000 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Get some coffee. I sent you 2 pictures of her memorial if you wanted to add them to your collection.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Everybody holding in there? Chats, y'all all doing good?
Seems to be. Everybody's just kind of hopping around. Peggy.
Hey, Tandy.
Yeah, I heard that too, was the speed typing. Welcome, Candy. Thanks for joining us. Oh, how fancy meeting you here, sir.
Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I swear that dude pees more than my grandmother does. Good
He
Lord.
might need to get his prostate checked.
Oh, Lord. Process. Woo! My
You signing
bear
up
is
for
getting
doing that,
down
Bill?
dirty today. She's going straight.
Nope,
for
I'm
the
not
front.
doing it.
She's like, you know what, buddy? You need to get your prostate checked.
I used to work for a urologist, so you know.
Oh, no.
I used to work for a myologist. Hee hee.
Mhm.
Evening, Mark and Betty. Artac. Wow, Mom actually looks like she's in a good mood today.
Yeah. Right,
Weird.
Zelda. Mama Bear didn't play. She just went straight there. That judge
Yep.
needs a prostate check.
The face crunch is gone. That's why I was saying it, Mom. Your face ain't all scrunched up in anger like it was yesterday.
What are you trying to say, Dago?
That she was
Oh,
angry
yeah.
as shit yesterday.
This case infuriates me. This
Mhm.
case infuriates me. You
I
guys
know,
should have
it's
seen me streaming Harmony's case. Like, I was working 10-hour days, getting off work and streaming Harmony's trial at night. You talking
Aw.
about mad.
I bet.
Oh,
I stayed mad that whole damn trial.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, defense is definitely just looking for anything they could possibly pull out their rear ends for a mistrial. Anything. And Phil, I don't know if the postpartum depression thing would even be a defense in this case, since she was out partying, having the time of her life at Hunter's and living her best life. So I don't think that's going to fly either.
She
But
wasn't depressed. She was selfish.
Well, it's like Casey Anthony. You know, Casey was
yeah,
living her best life, and she not only was living her best life, the bitch went so far as to get a tattoo that she was living her best life. And not only
nice.
that, the bar that she was hanging out with, that famous photo that floats around, that's
Yeah.
right down the road from me. It used to be called Bonfires. Now it's a crab
Oh,
shack.
cool. Mm,
Hmm. I'm sure it turned into a crab shack after she went in there.
no doubt.
Yeah, I don't know if Craig's still in here or not, but
Hey, Matahari.
my
Thanks for joining us.
stepdaughter's mom was in jail with her, and they were in the elevator together.
Hmm.
It took everything in her power not to catch more charges. We'll just put it that way for YouTube purposes.
Oh, no, I know, Phil. I was just saying, I didn't mean it that way. But yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah, I mean, you would think so. That's probably the only reasonable defense they could possibly come out
Right.
with. But from her actions, I don't see how it would stick. Yeah, I didn't mean it that way, Phil.
There ain't nobody that's gonna believe anything that she tries to use as a defense, in my opinion. I don't see it.
No, the jury's going to see right through her. This ain't Florida. This is Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. She's going down.
Y'all know how I feel about this state. I hate this whole state. The only thing I'm putting any kind of faith in is the fact that they'll get rid of the monster Stearns. But
Oh yeah.
other than that, this state's a freaking joke. Like, it's an
That's what-
absolute joke.
Mikey said that too.
Well, you guys do have Grady Judd, so let's not forget that. I mean,
That's
Right.
that's. Oh man, can you imagine if he'd got a hold of her?
oh,
I tried
I
to
would
get
love
him to run for president, and he told
I
me
agree.
that
heck yeah.
I reached out to him and told him we need you to run for president, and he was like, "No, I'm happy with what I do right here." I was like, "Come on, please."
Can you imagine him as president? Holy shit!
I tried.
People
I
be
took one
going
for
down
all of
like, yep, for real. And this, if he'd have got her hold of her, he'd have put her down like a hoe in Chinatown, for real. I ain't playing. I'd have loved to seen that one. Same with Stern.
Tomboy.
Sup, tomboy. Sup. 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 I wonder if that's in the English dictionary now. Sup.
Maybe the Urban Dictionary.
Sup. Yes, she's definitely a hoe. I'll tell you who I feel bad for is that the Wood kid. What's his first name? Hunter, the one that she was obsessed with.
Mm.
Sounds like
I feel bad for him, the grandparents, the friends, anybody that this woman touched in
Yeah.
life.
That's what we were saying
Like-
yesterday. She destroyed so many lives with this.
Welcome,
And these
Tomboy. I'm
people
sorry I
don't
missed you.
Her friend that was crying on the stand, she broke my heart.
Her friends loved that baby, like you know, aunts and uncles and stuff do with your friends' kids and this and that, and she didn't care. It was all about her.
Mm-hmm.
All about her. Susan Smith and Leilani Simon and Staunch and everybody else all wrapped in one. That blew my mind too, Zelda. I can't believe Colin Griffith got off on that. That blew my mind.
It's because Florida needs a whole revamp. Like, they seriously do. They seriously need a whole revamp. Like, you can get caught with rugs and get 6 months to 25 years.
Right.
You
What up,
can dismember your neighbor and be out in parole in 30 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's crazy. That is
I
crazy.
agree. I agree with what you said too, Phil. And what's up, Willie?
Willie.
We're all here, waiting for you.
We're just kind of spread out on 4 channels.
Yes. Mom, are you live too?
Yeah.
Awesome. Make sure I get reminded that before I put anything in the damn chats.
Well, I was
Jesus.
going to air this anyway. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ask them if they want a dual stream because I'm going to air it anyhow. So, I mean, if it can help other people, why not?
I appreciate it, ma'am. I'm home
Do not
alone.
be. Do not
Well, the
be like
baby's asleep.
Oh.
Craig's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on a road trip with his parents, and I don't do
Oh.
well on road trips because I'm like this judge.
Gotta pee every 15 minutes.
Yes. When you got to pee, you got to pee.
Gotta take you a shiwi.
I'd look real funny going down 75, hung out the window.
Listen, when I'm hunting, I look pretty funny trying to pee in that blind too, but I make it happen somehow.
Those are easy. Just kind of gotta.
Yeah. How do you know you got a
Forget it.
shiwi? Dago, you own a shiwi?
No.
What you talking about? I was like, you own a shiwi? What the hell you got a
I'm
shiwi
talking
for,
about
buddy?
being in a tree stand. I'm talking about. All you gotta do
Oh
is
no, I
kind of
won't get in a tree stand.
drop
I'm
over the
scared of
side
heights.
and do your thing.
Oh no, I'm scared of heights. I'm in a blind. So
In a
I was
tree
saying
stand?
earlier, yeah, if I was saying earlier, trying to use a shiwi, and if a deer comes by, I'll make quite a mess, but I'm getting it one way or the other.
Boy, that gave me visual.
I'm done.
My brother,
I'm
on my
done.
mom's property, when my mom was still around, my brother went down to what we call the field, and we had tree stands down there. And he got up in the tree stand. You know, he'd go down there about 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll come about 2 o'clock. We heard him firing off, just unloading. And I told Mom, I said, "Oh, he must have got one." And then we heard him fire off 4 more times. And I said, why is he still firing? Surely he ain't that bad of an aim. And hell, we sat there and drank coffee and talked and chit-chatted, and then it hit both of us. I wonder if he fell out of the tree stand. He'd been laying down there on his back for almost 2 hours, couldn't move, threw his back completely out.
Damn.
Oh no! See,
And he's a big old boy.
That ain't.
He's a big old boy. He's almost 7 foot tall and weighs about 300 pounds. He is not little by any means. And when he
No.
hit the ground, let me tell you what, you knew there was a spot there where he hit the ground. He hit it hard and couldn't move. He's laying down there. We walked up. He said, "Well, damn, y'all just let me lay out here in the woods and die."
Yeah, I'm not even attempting. I'm so scared of heights that I know if I get up there, I'm not coming down. That's it.
Are you
stuck.
scared of heights or are you scared of falling?
Oh.
Both.
Like, well, I think I could climb up there okay, but once I got up there, I'd be like, I might fall out of here. So maybe it's the falling, but nope, no way.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be
think
in
for me, it's
I'd be in
the
that tree
falling.
stand forever.
Like I was watching Landman, and that kid, they did a
that's
prank on him
good.
because it was his first day. And they made him climb this big old thing, and I was like sweating. I was like, oh my god, I can never do that.
Saw that. Landman's good. It is very good.
It is pretty good show. I like that too.
Yeah. It sucks it was so short though.
They're all becoming that mini-series things. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Something gets good and then they're like, okay, we're done. No. Make it right. Make it right.
Yeah, if you guys just popped in, what we're doing is they're on a 10 to 15-minute break from court. So we're just up here just bull crapping, I guess, until they come back.
every time they come out with set,
Crap bowling.
I have very few cards.
Yeah. Crap bowling.
Many growing up. Like, I have this one card that's called, that's what-
Who's all gonna be watching the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Not me. I'll be right here
Not me.
streaming this court if they have it.
They ain't gonna have it tomorrow.
How you know?
They don't do it on Sundays.
Well, we didn't think they were going to do it
There's
today
the
either.
question.
So
There's the
I've
question.
never,
They may.
yeah, but I've never seen him do it on a Sunday ever. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'll shut up then. Fine.
No, I don't. Okay, go. You can shut up. I'm playing. I'm playing.
Ew.
Oh, it's so funny. No, they may not, but I don't know. I don't know what they'll do really. I don't think they know what they do till last minute, and then they call it. Dang, he did leave. He's like, all right, fine, dude, bye. Ah, there he is. Oh, wow. You need to get more sleep, Dago. Starting to really affect you.
Yeah. Bloodshot eye.
All right. That's not creepy.
Not at all. Can sleep when we're dead. Yeah.
That's my feelings. We're gonna do a whole lot of it too. So
I thought they'd be back by now. Didn't you? How long
what
has it
kind
been?
what kind of a break is this?
Just I think it's a pee break. Oh, I
Pee
see a
break.
bald head. So I think here we go, guys. I'm gonna pull this down off panel.
Alrighty. See you in an hour.
I'm not muted this time. It's court muted, I promise. You'll be able to hear it this time.
Okay, Your Honor, if I could quickly have exhibit number 189 passed back to the witness for just a second. It should be on the far right on that table. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask for you to open that back up. Should be brochures from Blowing Rock. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. If you could look into those brochures and see if you anything that indicates a date.
There's a receipt here.
Okay.
The date indicated is January the 19th, 2020.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. That's all I need from that. Thank you. I'm going to ask if you can open that up and see if you can identify it.
Yes, this is like a memory book that says "Hello, Baby" on the front, and it appears to have an ultrasound.
And where was that found?
It was with the defendant's belongings.
Okay. At what location?
Hunter's residence.
Okay. Okay. We will ask to be moving that exhibit number 192.
Any objection?
No objection for our agreement. That's great.
Full exhibit 192.
And what I'm going to do right now is just ask for you to, Your Honor, may we publish this to the jury, just the front of the book? Okay. You could just hold up the front of the book so the jury can see the front of the book, please. Okay. Thank you. And we briefly talked before the break. Is that the book that we were discussing in regards to that interview?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you can pass that back to the clerk. At some point, did the defendant tell you someone other than Ethan allegedly had Evelyn?
She did. Yes.
And who did she allege had Evelyn?
After a period of time, the defendant told us that her mother, in fact, had Evelyn Boswell.
Okay, is
Her
that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And her mother's name is Angela Boswell,
Okay.
also referred to as Angel from
Okay.
time to time.
And were you able to locate Angela Boswell?
Yes, she was located
And where was she located?
in Wilkes County, North Carolina.
Okay. Was she with anyone?
She was with a man named William McLeod.
Okay. Did Angela have Evelyn?
No, she did not.
Okay. At this point in the investigation, had anything led you to believe that Angela had Evelyn at any point?
No.
Okay. Did you yourself end up going to North Carolina?
Yes, I did.
And why?
To interview Angela Boswell and William McLeod.
Okay. Moving forward a few days, do you remember meeting with Megan Boswell again on February 23rd, 2020?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Who was present for that interview?
Now Lieutenant Matt Price
Okay. Where did that interview take place?
at the sheriff's office.
Okay. Is that located in Sullivan County, Tennessee?
Yes, it is.
What was the purpose of that interview?
At that point, we were still speaking with the defendant, trying to get as much information as we could regarding the investigation.
Okay. Had you started developing a timeline at any point?
Yes, that's one thing that we worked on throughout this investigation that is important. when you're looking for a missing person to determine their last known whereabouts.
Okay. And were you continually working in and out of the sheriff's department during this time?
Yes.
Did you have a scheduled interview with the defendant on February 25th of 2020?
No, we did not.
Okay. Did you see the defendant that day?
Yes, she showed up at the sheriff's office.
Okay. And is that located in Sullivan County?
It is, yes.
Okay. Did the defendant tell you why she showed up that day?
Initially, or throughout talking with her, she gave a couple of different reasons.
Okay. What did she say?
She was concerned about having her body spray returned to her. She was talking about forming a search party to go to an area she kept referring to as Mendota. And she was asking about whether she would be, or whether there would be any issues with tampering with evidence.
Okay. Did she specify why she was concerned about tampering with evidence?
The defendant told us that someone had told her that she might get arrested for tampering with evidence.
Okay. Had law enforcement heard about Mendota?
Yes, the Mendota had been brought up a few times as a possible place to search.
Okay. Did the defendant at this time show you any concern for Evelyn?
She did not.
Do you recall speaking with her in a different manner to try to get her to give you more information about where Evelyn might be?
I'm sorry, could you clarify that for me?
Did you give her any possible scenarios?
Yes, during the interview, that particular February 25th interview, we discussed with her, were there any other possibilities about the whereabouts of Evelyn? For example, was she aware that something happened and wasn't telling law enforcement?
Okay. What do you mean something happened? Can you describe further what you mean by that?
I was specifically asking her about whether Evelyn had any breathing issues, for example, whether she had stopped breathing at some point, and the defendant just didn't know what to do and hadn't yet reported that to law enforcement.
Okay. What made you decide to suggest this to her?
There were several reasons. Throughout the investigation, we were consulting with our forensic scientist in the lab, as well as the doctors at the William Jenkins Forensic Center about possibilities in child deaths. And some of the issues that had come up were positional asphyxiation.
Okay. You used the word positional asphyxiation. Is that a word you used with the defendant?
In the interview, I don't think I said those specific words.
Okay. Do you know what words or do you recall what specific words you used?
Specifically, I think I just was asking about whether the victim had stopped breathing.
Okay. So you asked her specifically if Evelyn might have stopped breathing. Were you suggesting an accident, or were you suggesting that it was, for lack of a better word, a homicide at this point?
You know, we were open to all types of theories at that point, but we did want to know whether an accident had occurred sometime in the past and she had done something and just not told us about it at that point.
When you discussed these things with her, did she continue to maintain nothing like that had happened?
She did. She denied that there was ever any breathing issues.
Okay. Did she maintain she told you everything?
Multiple times the defendant had told us that she had told us everything that she knew.
Okay. And do you recall that interview ending?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And do you recall where that interview took place within the building?
It took place in several parts of the building. At one point, we were upstairs in the sheriff's office, and another point, we had walked the defendant downstairs to essentially escort her out of the building.
Okay. So you walked her down yourself?
I believe now Lieutenant Price was with me.
Okay. When you got to the door, did you see anything outside?
Yes, at that time, the news media was just right outside the front door.
Okay. What did you do when you saw them?
We offered out of a courtesy to the defendants, do you want to go out another door so you don't have to face them?
Okay. And did you, in fact, walk her to a different door?
Yes, we walked her out a side door at the sheriff's office.
Okay. And did you see the defendant after that moment?
Yes.
What
yes,
did you
we
see?
did.
What did you see?
She had walked from that side door back to the front of the building and then gave an interview with the news.
Okay. And looking for Evelyn, how many times did law enforcement search that trailer park where the defendant was living with Evelyn?
I know multiple. I know I was there twice, and I know other law enforcement officers had gone in addition to that.
Anything ever found other than the stroller we've already talked about that was helpful to the investigation?
No.
Okay. Can you please tell us how many law enforcement agencies had been called in to help find Evelyn Boswell?
The specific number, I don't know. However, it was a large amount of law enforcement, essentially all of the TBI resources out of the Johnson City office, several from the Knoxville office. Many people from Nashville were helping. I know our aviation unit, several pilots assisted with a plane, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, all of Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, and probably every local agency in the greater East Tennessee area. The United States Marshal Service was involved at times. Our partner agency in North Carolina, the State Bureau of Investigation, assisted, along with the Wilkes County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Was a tip line established in order to try to find Evelyn?
Yes, in scenarios like this, we use a tip line, the number being 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Okay. And do you know approximately how many tips came in during that time?
A couple of thousand.
Okay. How does a law enforcement agency determine which leads to follow?
At different times, especially early on in the investigation, we man the tip line with different agents, different analysts in Nashville are keeping eyes on every tip that go in. And we essentially use our experience and determine which tips that maybe we should look at first and try to prioritize them and continue to working them until we can close them and move on to others.
Okay. Are you confident that every credible lead was followed to the end?
Absolutely.
Okay. And were you given leads based on information that Megan Boswell gave you directly? Individuals to look at?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you mean.
Did you follow the leads based on information that Megan Boswell gave you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what, like just one at a time, what was one of those leads that she gave you as to where Evelyn was?
So we got the initial story that Evelyn was with Ethan, and us and other law enforcement agencies and the Army CID essentially eliminated that lead.
Okay. Do you feel confident that you were able to eliminate Ethan as a suspect?
Yes.
Okay. What about Angela Boswell?
Same answer. Yes.
Okay. Did you investigate Angela Boswell?
Yes.
Did you investigate her boyfriend, Will McLeod?
Yes, we did.
Based on your investigation, were you able to confidently eliminate Angela Boswell and Will McLeod as suspects?
Objection, Your Honor. We approach.
Sustained. Objection sustained as before.
Okay. I'm going to rephrase the question, okay? Were you able to eliminate Angela Boswell and or Will McLeod, her boyfriend, as suspects in this case?
Yes.
Okay. What about Mendota?
Yes, that area was thoroughly searched by multiple law enforcement agencies, and we never found any bit of information or evidence that linked that area to Evelyn Boswell.
Can you briefly tell the jury what Megan Boswell had told you about Mendota?
The defendant kept referencing campgrounds in Mendota. I wasn't really sure what she meant at the time, but she kept bringing up, you should go to Mendota. And she just kept bringing it up.
Okay. Was Mendota investigated?
It thoroughly, yes.
Okay. Were you able to locate anything of importance to this investigation in Mendota and or at a campground in Mendota?
No, nothing.
Okay. Pass your document. Ask if you can identify it.
Yes, I recognize this.
Okay. What is it?
This is an application for applying for a residence at Overlook Apartments.
Okay. And can you tell us why you looked at Overlook Apartments?
We were given information that the defendant had applied to live there with her boyfriend.
Okay. Her boyfriend.
Hunter Wood.
Okay. And is that something that was collected from Overlook Apartments?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what was collected from Overlook Apartments?
Yes.
Okay. We'd ask that be. Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Objection was withdrawn.
We would ask that be admitted as exhibit number 193.
Before exhibit 190.
And permission to publish. Okay. Oops. Okay. Is this the application you were just talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall when they were looking, or does this say, when were they looking to try to get an apartment at Overlook Apartments?
January the 4th, 2020.
Did you learn how many occupants that the defendant and Hunter Wood put on their application?
Yes, 3.
Okay. Did you talk to the defendant about who the third occupant was going to be?
Yes, I did.
Did the defendant say the third occupant was going to be Evelyn Boswell?
No.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
The defendant told us that at that time she was pregnant and the third occupant was for the unborn baby.
Okay. So then did you go one step further and ask her why Evelyn was not listed on that application?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, what did she say?
She told us it was not Evelyn because Hunter either would not or did not want Evelyn to live with him.
Okay. Was she able to explain where Evelyn was going to be living then, if not with her and Hunter?
No.
jumping ahead to March 6, 2020, do you recall being contacted by the defendant's father, Tommy Boswell?
Yes.
And without going into hearsay on what he told law enforcement, did law enforcement go to Tommy Boswell's property?
Yes. Initially, myself and Detective Haraz.
Okay. And is that located in Bluntville?
Yes, it is.
Do you remember the street name or address?
Muddy Creek at 539/543.
Okay. And is that located in Sullivan County?
Yes, it is.
What was the purpose of going there?
We were under the impression some of the defendant's property was at that location.
Okay. Do you recall what time you arrived at that location?
It was around 5:30 that evening or afternoon.
Okay. And did Tommy Boswell give law enforcement consent to search that day?
He did, yes.
Okay. If I could please have exhibits number 6, 8, 9. Well, 6 and then 8 through 12, please. Pass to the witness, please. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. First, if you could take a look at exhibit number 6. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I recognize
Okay. What is it?
This is a drawing or a sketch of the scene at 539/543 Muddy Creek.
Okay. Is there a pointer device up there beside you?
There's a flash.
That's it. Okay. If you could pass the
Yes.
exhibits to me, we'll try to do it that way to make it quicker. It's not a flashlight.
Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was a flashlight.
Okay. We'll try to make it quicker this way. These have already all come into evidence, so we'll just discuss each one. Is this a diagram of the property as it was on March 6th of 2020?
Yes.
Okay. Can you show the jury? I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Can you show the jury where you first searched?
Are you wanting me to point at that screen?
Yes. It should work. There you go.
Would have been in this area right here. It's excuse me. It is labeled as shed.
Okay. And did you search anywhere else on the property?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us where else you searched?
That building there that's labeled as Playhouse.
Okay. Now I see a box below that also appears to say shed. Do you see that?
I see that, yes.
What was that?
That was another outbuilding that was full of, I believe the business name is Tommy's Paving or something like that. And it was full of paving or asphalt related equipment.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you next what's been marked as exhibit number 7. Is that the outbuilding that you were talking about a few moments ago?
Yes.
Okay. And exhibit number 8. Is that the outbuilding and the playhouse that you were talking about a few moments ago?
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit number 9. Can you tell us what that is?
That is a photograph of the outbuilding or shed where it shows either the defendant's or some of Evelyn's belongings.
It's essentially the shed with the door open.
Correct.
Okay. Number 10. Is this what you're calling? Did you call it a playhouse?
That is correct.
Okay. Exhibit number 12. Is that just the playhouse with the door open?
Yes.
Had anything been disturbed at the time this photo had taken place?
No.
I think I might have gotten that order. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Were you present for the search of that shed / outbuilding?
Yes.
Okay. Were you also present for the search of the playhouse on the property?
Yes.
And were you aware of whose playhouse that was?
Yes. It was the playhouse of the defendant.
Okay. If I could please have shown exhibits number 13, 14, 16, and 17, or just if I could have this passed to me, please. 13, 14, 16, 17. Thank you. These have already been admitted into evidence. First, exhibit number 13. If it, okay, I just made it worse. There we go. Okay. Is that how the playhouse appeared as you looked inside?
Yes.
Had anything been moved yet?
No.
Anything you noticed at first glance about this space?
Yes. A lot of the area in the back of the playhouse was covered in dirt, dust, debris, spiderwebs, and there were several items just right inside the door that it appeared they were placed in the playhouse more recently.
Okay. In which says just a second. This photo, exhibit number 14, again, how does that appear to you upon first glance when you went to that scene?
That's just a better photograph showing all of the dirt, debris, or other things on top of the belongings in there.
Okay. And then last, I'm going to show you exhibit number 17. Had anything been moved prior to this photograph being taken?
No.
Okay. And if you look closely, it's hard to tell. Can you see the black trash bag in this photo?
Yes.
Okay. And again, were you present when the trash bag was removed?
Yes.
Okay. Is this trash bag the way it appeared prior to law enforcement taking it out of the trash can?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hold on to 17 for just a second. So you stated, I'll put this one back up for just a second. You just stated that a few items appeared out of place. Can you tell the jury or use your pointer on which items you are talking about?
These trash bags
Okay.
right here
Mm-hmm.
and this trash can.
Okay. And can you tell the jury why did those appear out of place to you?
'Cause they weren't covered with any dirt or dust or spider webs.
Okay. So based upon that, did law enforcement make the decision to look closer at some of the items in the playhouse?
Yes.
And which items were looked at closer?
The trash can and the trash bags.
Okay. And who in particular went to take a look at the trash can?
Agent Fraley.
Okay. Is that Brian Fraley with the TBI?
That's correct.
And did you witness Agent Fraley do this?
Yes.
We're going to do this kind of in steps. What did you see Agent Fraley do first?
Just reach in for the trash can.
Okay. And does he pull anything out of the trash can at some point?
Yes.
What does he pull out?
Initially, the bags that were on top.
Okay. And did you notice anything at the time that he pulled the bag on top?
Yes.
What did you notice?
A couple of things. There was some, it looked like flesh in a sort of this part of either an elbow and an arm or the part of a knee and a leg, and noticed immediately the smell of human decomposition.
Okay. Had you noticed that smell prior to that trash bag being removed?
No.
Okay. And again, in looking at this photo, actually, I'll pass that back up. If I could please have number 18 and 19. and 42, please. Okay, this has been previously admitted. With this photo, is that what you were just referencing a few moments ago?
Yes.
Is that before or after the black trash bag was removed?
This photo would have been taken after.
Okay. So now, did you think that was a baby's leg?
Initially, when I first saw it, I really thought that it might have been a baby doll. It looked like an antique, kind of a flesh color, and it was, it's hard to describe the look of the skin, but it almost did not look real. It had like a shine to it. And as you can tell, it's at least getting dark at this point. We're in the evening, in the wintertime, and we're shining flashlights on it. So I specifically remember that it had like just kind of a shine to it. And initially I thought, is that a baby doll?
Okay. And you said it was dark when you were doing this?
Yes.
Okay. Did you determine that it was not a baby doll?
It was immediately apparent.
Okay. And at that point, what did law enforcement decide to do?
We sort of paused at that point and decided we needed to call some other people in. We made a decision on who was going to perform that search and how it was going to be performed.
Okay. And who did you call in?
Well, we called the forensic center. We would have been calling various supervisors for the relative agencies that were on site.
Okay. And did you remove any items from the playhouse once those individuals arrived?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you remove?
The trash can and the trash bags.
Okay. Let's see. If I could see 42. Did I already ask for that one? I'm sorry. And I'm going to be asking for 22 through 27 in a second. If that helps. Okay. So I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as exhibit number 42. Now, are these items still inside or are they outside the playhouse at this point? Can you tell, or do I need to?
It might help if that helps a little bit.
As far as it goes. It's a little dark on the screen. Would you like to see the exhibit
Yes,
or
that
the
would
photograph
help.
itself?
That's much better.
22 through 27. Are you able to tell if that is inside or outside the playhouse?
It's just outside the playhouse on a like a perch or a porch area.
Okay. I could have that passed back for just a moment. Okay. And at this point, is Evelyn's body still inside that trash can?
Yes.
Okay. Did law enforcement start the process of removing Evelyn from the trash can?
Yes, we did.
Did that take place there? Or did it take place at the forensic center?
Removing the items
body
in the trash can.
Yes.
It took place there on scene.
Okay. I'm gonna show you what's been previously marked as exhibit number 22. Is this the start of that process?
Yes.
Can you please use your pointer and show us where Evelyn's head would be located in this photograph? Let's see.
I was pointing it the wrong way. It would be down in this area.
Okay. So essentially she was head down in the trash bag. Is that right?
That's correct.
Objection, clip road.
Sustain. General, you can rephrase.
Okay. Was Evelyn in this trash bag?
Yes.
Okay. Where was Evelyn's head?
Are you wanting me to point or no? In this area.
Okay. Can you tell me? Well, that's all I need on that one. Okay. Okay. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
This is a continuation of the photographs that were being taken at the time I was taking the photographs.
Okay.
You can see the continued process of removing the contents from the trash can.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate representation of how that looked on that date?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 194. Permission to publish. Okay. Can you tell the jury in particular what you noticed about the trash bag here, if anything?
Yes, this is a really good representation to show how the bag was packed down in the can. As you can see, essentially the outline of the can, the bag has maintained the shape when being pulled out of the can.
Okay. This has already been previously admitted as number 24. Can you tell us what we are looking at here?
This is a continued photograph from the process of removing the items from the bag.
Okay. Is Evelyn in that bag?
Yes.
Can you tell us where her head is located?
Do you want me to use the pointer?
Yes, please.
It would be down in this area here.
Can you tell me what's depicted in this photograph?
This is the body of Evelyn Boswell.
Okay. And can you tell us what we're looking at here? Using the pointer if you need to.
Could you be more specific?
What are we looking at?
Okay. So again, the body is inside of these contents or this blanket. Right here is a blanket. It's grayish, and you can really start to see it's a little difficult to see on the screen with what it's doing with the colors, but right in this area, you're beginning to see the outfit that Evelyn has on. And in addition to that, you're beginning to see the shape of the head of Evelyn right here. And this is aluminum foil that is formed around the victim's head.
Previously marked exhibit number 26. Can you tell the jury what we are seeing here?
This is a photograph of the trash bag after Evelyn's body was removed from the trash bag.
Okay. Again, can you tell the jury what we're looking at here?
Here's the pointer.
Mhm.
This picture, you can see again, the victim is lying here, this being the shape of the head. This is the trash bag. She had just been removed. And at the bottom of the bag were trash contents.
Okay. So what, was anything else in that bag that had been removed?
I'm not sure what you mean.
You've got a bag there full of food debris. Had
Yeah.
anything else, was anything else located in that bag other than that food debris?
Along with the things that were already removed,
What else had been removed?
the blanket with the body and the aluminum foil.
So Evelyn's body was in that bag.
Yes.
Okay. Please, 34 and 40. Okay. We'll show you what's been previously marked as exhibit number 34. Can you tell the jury what they are seeing here?
Yes, you can really start to see the outline of the body at this point, of the body of Evelyn, which right here is the head with the blanket formed to the head. This is the outfit. That is Evelyn's hand, and this is a blanket that is wrapped around Evelyn.
Okay, can you tell us where Evelyn's face is located?
It would be right in this area.
Okay. And I'm going to show you one more, previously marked as exhibit number 40. Can you tell the jury what they are looking at here?
Yes, here I was focusing in on the trash can, specifically for this item,
Okay.
which was a piece of gum that was stuck to the side of the trash can.
And was that collected?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. After Evelyn's body had been taken out, what was done with the foil, if anything?
The foil was collected and ultimately sent to the TBI lab, initially in Knoxville, and later on it was sent to our lab in Nashville.
Okay. Okay. Ask if you recognize that.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is a photograph taken later at the Knoxville lab of the aluminum foil that was collected.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the foil that was collected from the body of Evelyn Boswell?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 195.
Any objection?
And permission to publish.
Full exhibit number.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what they're looking at here?
Yes, this is different sheets of aluminum foil. They were stretched out as best that I could without damaging them, and I stretched them out onto a large table at the Knoxville lab and photographed them.
And were those also collected as evidence?
Yes, they were collected that night, and at the time they were at the Knoxville lab, and I believe shortly after that were sent to the Nashville lab.
After Evelyn's body was processed there at Muddy Creek. Where did her body go?
It was taken to the forensic center in Johnson City
Okay. And what was the purpose of that?
for Dr. Schmidt to complete an autopsy.
Okay. And did you ever receive confirmation that the remains found in the playhouse were those of missing baby Evelyn Boswell?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't know if this is a good place to stop. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached the point where we're going to stop for today. Wanting to admonish you not to communicate with other jurors or anyone else regarding any subject connected with this trial.
All right, guys. I guess they're going to end it for the day.
All righty.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about tomorrow. David might be right. Maybe they won't on a Sunday. I'm not positive, but with them being sequestered, I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But if they do, I will be live tomorrow morning with it for sure. All right, guys. Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us. I know it's Saturday and you could be anywhere and you chose here, so thank you. We do appreciate every one of you.
Yes, very much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you
So I guess
for
that's
thank
it.
you, Doodle, for hosting this again. We all appreciate you very much.
You're welcome. No worries.
Thank you, Mom, for joining, Miss Mama Bear, and thank you all for having me as well.
Thank you, Doodle, for making this possible for me to be here and dual stream, and thank you for streaming it. Thank you for everybody that's being here. This is a heavy trial. Anytime it's babies, I know it's heavy. You guys hug your kids, hug your loved ones. If you're not within arm's reach of them, text them and tell them you love them. Text. If you have a family member you haven't heard from, reach out to them.
Yes, that's why we're all here together,
Make
guys.
sure, right. Just make even if they don't respond, just tell them you love them.
So
You don't
you
need a
gotta do.
response for them to see that you care about them, for sure.
Only takes
All
a
right.
matter of a
Thank
couple
you,
of
everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great. Well, we'll maybe see you tomorrow morning. If not, I will definitely see you Monday. But if they air it, I will be airing it. Bye, guys. Till next
Bye.
Bye,
time.
guys. Love y'all.
Does anyone understand? Does anyone lend a hand? When the silence starts to bite, will you join me in this fight? Can you see them in your dreams? Can you hear their desperate screams? A heartbeat lost in the night. Oh, will you help me be their voice? In the darkness, let's rejoice. 'Cause together we